Hello everybody, this is Sneaky the Lost and welcome back to Omnifactory. Today we're going to move into our new home. I've done some work between episodes. You may notice a new couple of ores back here, diamond ore and lithium ore. Did I need to buy them? Not necessarily, I could have done without them. And if I just wanted to find diamond ore, I could have just bought graphite ore, which would have only been 5 omni pennies instead of 2 omni quarters. However, I don't really need graphite ore. I won't need it for quite some time, and I do need some diamonds. And it's not like I'm short on omni coins anyway, so why not? So, before we really move in, we're gonna want to make some more things. You see, we built our power generation. We built the steam dynamo and the CEF to convert it, and the water source for the steam dynamo, and some conductive cables. But what's the point in making power if you can't use it? So we're going to make at least one machine here before we really start moving in. So I took some of that lithium, made it into lithium dust with the small battery holes, and I have 4 small lithium batteries, which is going to be very useful going forward. You'll notice I've made a lot of components here. Some LV machine hulls. You remember those, right? Our old friend, the whole metric ton of wrought iron plates, like 11 wrought iron plates each. Yeah. So there's that. I've also got a spare machine casing that I had accidentally built. But, you know, I'm definitely going to need it later, so that's not a big problem. Some primitive circuits, and then some other assorted stuffs. So we're going to want to start off with a basic wire mill. This is just going to be the best use of our resources immediately, because bluntly, we're spending too much metal on our basic wire, because right now we're having to hammer it down into plates, snip the plates into wires, and they're one-offs, and so it's 2 ingots per plate, 1 plate per wire, so it's 2 ingots per wire. We need to do better than that. So the wire mill is definitely the order of the day, followed up by a couple of other machines that will just be more resource-friendly ways of getting things, like the alloy smelter. Well, alloy smelter gets us into steel, which is going to be useful, and a basic compressor, which is going to be able to make plates at a 1-for-1 instead of a 2-for-1. So that's going to be useful as well. Right, so basic wire mill is going to require 2 of those primitive circuits, an LV machine hull, some tin cable, and some electric motors. Now, electric motors are going to require 4 copper wire, or fine copper wire once we make the thing, a couple of tin cables, some iron rods, and a magnetic iron rod, which is an iron rod and 4 redstone. We will want to get away from that recipe really quick. There is an electromagnetic polarizer I can use to just turn them straight into magnetic iron rods. That doesn't consume all that redstone. But, you know, you got to work your way up. So, let's go ahead and knock these bad boys out. So, we're going to go do that, and we're going to need, what, 4 of these guys? Yeah, we're going to need 4 of these guys. So, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So, now we're going to do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey, I had exactly enough materials. Good. I calculated it right beforehand. And then we're going to make our basic wire mill. Now, to make the basic alloy smelter, I'm going to need some of these 4x copper wires, which is why I want the wire mill first. The basic compressor is going to need a couple of pistons, which is going to need another couple of motors. So as I recall, I forgot to put the LV motor in. Okay, hang on. So I'm going to need 4 more copper wires. Yeah, I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these. And that. And then 3 more iron rods. And just regular iron rods. I've been running a bit low on resources. Go figure. But this is really going to help me do things more resource efficiently anyway. So, really just kind of a good deal here. And then I'm going to need 4 redstone. Notice I'm kind of running low on redstone here as well. Yeah. These things are resource intensive, let's say. So here's the electric motor. Oh, okay, it's gonna make me make 2 of them to complete the quest. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, right. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for you guys. For you guys, 1 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab you. And bada bing, bada boom. That should be that quest. Yay! Now, Wiremill also completed. Good. Claim that. So now I'm going to need the pistons. It's only going to require 1 piston, but I'm going to want, I think, 2 of them anyway. Yes, 2 pistons anyway. Now, pistons are going to be, for now anyway, wrought iron gear, wrought iron rods, and wrought iron plates. And you may be looking at the steel recipe and going, why would anybody do that? It's just the same thing, only it's steel instead of wrought iron, which is more difficult to make. Wouldn't that make it more expensive? Well, the key here is the difference between a wrought iron gear, which is like 12 wrought iron, and a small steel gear, which is a single steel plate. So that's why the steel recipe is much cheaper, because of the gear. And eventually you'll be able to extrude the small steel gears as well. Or you can use an alloy smelter with a mold for small gear to make those really, really rapidly. So that's why you're going to eventually want to do that. But for now, I've got the motors. Let's go ahead and make these guys. And I seem to be missing some wrought iron rods. Wonder where they went to. I could have sworn I had made them. Oh well, 4 wrought iron rods. There we go. And now I have 2 electric pistons. Ding ding. Ding ding. Alright. Claim that bad boy. Now we're going to want this LV compressor, which I should have everything for. There we go. Alright. Now we've got a couple of machines that require power, a dynamo that produces power, and we are going to, by the way, once we get that alloy smelter, we're going to very rapidly be ramping up our power production. But for now, let's go ahead and head back over to our new home. I'm probably going to be moving everything over off camera, just because, yeah. That's just going to be a lot of manual labor of just hauling stuff back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and y'all don't need to see that. However, I will show you, I've got some dark oak trees there, and then up here is going to be where my farm is. I've got canola here, flax here, rice here, taters over here. I've got this very trolly chicken here. I haven't decided if I want to kill him yet. And then, of course, lining this, some rubber trees. You know, just the start of a basic farm, get some basic resources. Now, interesting thing, this right here, monster spawner, is a pig monster spawner. I don't know what it originally was. Typically, if you aren't aware, if Minecraft doesn't know what kind of mob should go in a monster spawner, it defaults to pig. So I don't know if that was supposed to be a pig farmer or a pig spawner, or if it was something else that just screwed up or whatever. But as you notice, it's making pigs outside. A lot of pigs outside. And this can definitely be used later on to get some pork going. That's going to be a good food resource, and of course potatoes are an amazing food resource as well. So you notice I had these things here. I've kind of got this channel dug out. This is where we're going to start our initial power, our initial machines going. So we're going to do that. We're going to put on our CEV-LV like so. We're going to put down a conduit, which I may have left back there. Of course I did, because, you know, why bother making something? And if you're just going to, you know, not do it. Oh boy. Yeah, as you notice, there's the basement down there is still a work in progress. It's pacified, but it's a work in progress. There we go. So now we are going to put in the basic wire mill and the basic compressor. In here, we're going to put our 4 batteries. For now, we'll go ahead and put our dynamo here. Am I going to really need to make a stupid wrench just to be able to move those things around? I probably am. Well, maybe I can use the Greg Tech wrench real quick. And while I'm at it, grab my conduits. And apparently, also while I'm at it, sleep. There's also a cave back here somewhere, small little cave that's been acting like a honeypot, basically taking up all of the mob spawning opportunities in the area, which has left this place relatively peaceful, even when I forget to sleep. I'm gonna grab those, and the wrench itself. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and make the crescent hammer. I've got the resources. It's not that expensive. And I know that will work. Also, at some point I will probably want to make yet a wrench. But now is not that time. So, back we go. And we're gonna start getting some stuff taken care of over here. The Wiremill is just going to be really amazing for us. And honestly, the compressor as well, if to a lesser extent. So what we're going to do, we're going to go whack it with a wrench. There we go. For now, we can just drop this here. Eventually, this will move into the basement, but the basement is very much still a work in progress. Why don't I actually show you guys briefly what's going on down here? Yeah, it's lit up, but it's still a work in progress. However, I did break into some oil sands over here, so that's going to be interesting. That'll kickstart my petroleum process. So now we're going to throw some charcoal here into this steam dynamo. Be able to generate 40 RF per tick, which ain't much. That's like 10 EU per tick. But hey, we're charging up our small lithium batteries, which is great. So let's go ahead and at least grab one of those work tables real quick, and we'll show you why this is so awesome. Yeah, there's that honeypot in there. So let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff. That's going to reset this, but we're going to want to do that anyway. We are going to want some copper, some wrought iron. We're going to be getting away from using these tools, though, if we can at all help it. Of course, we're going to move everything over in a bit, but for right now, what I want to do is show off just how awesome this wire mill is, and we're going to do that with some copper wire, because we're going to need some 4x copper wire for this alloy smeltery. Now, if I were to make that with the old ray, I would need 8 copper wires, which would be 16 copper ingots to be able to make that. However, with this wire mill, I can make it with 4 ingots. That's a substantially better deal, in my opinion. And that's why the wire mill was the first one that I made. Now, this right here denotes the chunk boundary. Let me go ahead and hit F9 for you real quick. GregTech machines do not like being put on a chunk boundary, so I put that there as a guiding reminder: do not cross this line with multi-blocks. Just as a reminder to myself. Eventually I may actually put some walls back in, but not right now. So what we're going to do then, the alloy smelter, we've got these, we've got that, we've got those. We, I think, still have some tin cabling. Do we? No, I don't think we do. I think we used it all because I had screwed up on that one instance. So let's go ahead and put the work table down. So we're going to need the 2x copper wires, the LV machine hull, the primitive circuits, okay, we just need the 210 cables, and we're pretty golden here. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then we'll have our alloy smeltery, And that'll be our first 3 big machines, really. So we've actually really done a lot this episode already. And we're not done yet, kids. Spoiler alert. So we're going to grab some rubber sheets. Oh, we've got some red alloy cable. I will definitely want those. Some conductive iron cable. Resistors. And remember how I had over a stack of 10? Yeah, those were the days, weren't they? Don't worry, I can get more. But yeah, definitely between episodes, I'm going to have to do some mining and smelting. Fortunately, it's going to be substantially easier now. Also, the compressor can make rubber sheets at a 1-to-1 ratio, so that's also useful. Not as useful as making, say, the wrought iron plates at a 1-to-1 ratio, or especially the red alloy plates at a 1-to-1 ratio. But, you know, I'll take it. So, instead of 4 tin, I'm only going to need 1 piece of tin. Whoops. Yeah. What's going on? That's got plenty of energy. That's got plenty of energy. It had plenty of energy. Okay, what's going on here? Toss that in there. There we go. So now, you guys, and you guys, no, not you guys, you guys, make these guys, lock that in. Because remember, we don't need to worry about making rubber sheets or tin wires in a crafting table, in a work table anymore, because we've got machines to do that, so we don't need any of the sub-combines. And can we do it? Survey says... Ah, I need 2 more 4x copper wires. Okay. So, a little bit more work here, but we've almost got this alloy smelter done. That's going to give us steel. That's going to give us fused quartz, which is going to be useful in a few things, and some other things as well. But basically the house layout is going to be this. Ground floor is going to be manual control. The machines that I'm just going to be putting in individually to do. Let's go ahead and smelt up some tetrahedrite right here. Basement is going to be power gen. Second floor is going to be automation. There we go. That's going to be enough copper for what we want to do. Eat some mutton. Mutton. So, yeah, I think I'm also probably going to be upgrading those furnaces up to diamond tier. Ultimately, I'm going to want to make obsidian one, which actually requires 2 diamond furnaces, because it smelts 2 things at the same time. So let's go ahead, 1 and 2. Here's my 4x. Much more efficient. Much more efficient. And basic alloy smelter. Alright. So we've got a wire mill, a compressor, and an alloy smelter all down. We've got some power gen, even if it does kind of suck. We are going to be expanding that significantly. But we're going to be doing that down here. Apparently, yeah, there were some next door neighbors. Unfortunately, they can get to be very, very rude. There were also some trying to break in from over here. Just, you know, rudeness. Very, very much rudeness. I mean, really, guys. Come on. Next thing I want to do is some conductive iron. Because I am going to want some conduit. So we've got this conduit binder here. And we've got this conductive iron. There we go. So now we've got a little bit more of that. One last thing we're going to do before we call the episode. And that's going to be what's in here. Now, we're going to want a renewable power source. Now, we could use charcoal. I mean, we could. But there's a few problems with doing that. I mean, you know, tree farm, all that stuff. There's another power source I'm going to be using, at least in the short term. Or at least another fuel source, at least in the short term. Yeah, you also may have noticed I broke my other diamond hammer. I've only got one left, so I'm kind of saving it right now. But that is my device there. Babby zombie! Where did Babby zombie come from? Babby zombie is bad. I will need to track down where Babby zombie came from later. I don't see it immediately. Oh, back that away. Okay. I see. Well, we'll just take care of that real quick, won't we? Oh, yeah, one of you guys. Yeah, I made some clay shears to get rid of these guys. So let's go ahead and just kind of close this off here. And then close these off. There we go. Denied. Right, so, I really, I really should make a builder's wand at some point. It says here in fine print. Whoopsie, let's not do that. I do not want spawns starting to happen. The last thing I want is surprise creeper. So, This is going to be where basically the main power conduit up goes. So back here, I guess. No, we'll build it over here. We can do this. So, I got a piece of SNAD, a collector, some quite clear glass, sound muffler, because this is going to be very noisy, a dispenser, and some sugarcane. So what are we going to do here? Well, what we're going to do pitch that in there, that in there. We're just going to put some of these resources in my bag. Well, I will actually need the redstone. I will want these guys. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And do that. And then a collector. And then the dispenser. Sugarcane. And observer. Observer. There we go. And then some redstone going through here. So what does SNAD do? Well, when SNAD receives a redstone signal, SNAD will cause sugarcane to grow pretty rapidly. So what I can do is, let's just say if I were to put this redstone clock down next to it real quick, without hooking up this other system. You see how fast that's causing that to grow? Yeah. Okay. So what does the observer do? Well, every time it sees the redstone flicker, it will cause a redstone signal to occur. I'll have to play around with that. And then that will eventually propagate back here. And then I just pulled it out of there. Basically what we're looking at is an auto collection of the sugarcane farm here. There we go. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And that's also why we're going to be using the super sound muffler to shut it up. There we go. So that's what we're going to be doing. We are going to need probably a repeater here to push a hard signal to get both of these guys to work. But other than that, we're going to basically be creating tons and tons of reads that we can put into our steam dynamo to be able to generate power. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call the episode here. Thank you very much, everybody, for following the series. And this is Sneaky the Lost, signing off.